Wes just spit up his Mountain Dew there.
It's on the table still.
Well, what's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to episode number 3 of the Rut and Duck podcast. I'm Dylan Hotaling.
I'm Jay Rowland.
I'm Weston Hotaling.
And this is going to be kind of an all-over-the-place episode. Nothing particular we want to talk about, but because we know what we're going to talk about next week.
Yeah.
So this one's kind of just a filler.
It's going down Saturday.
Yes, sir. Yeah, Jay's going to mow down some little squallers.
Yes, sir.
Well, let's see. Jay, you went dog driving Thursday, right?
I did, and I went where y'all hunt.
I missed you Thursday at work.
And did you?
Yes.
Trust me, I kind of missed work too. No, but me and my good buddy, my duck hunting buddy, we went, and I haven't been dog driving in probably since I started driving. I just kind of fell out of it.
Yeah.
Which, where I did hunt, we lost the dog driving rights, so I didn't have nowhere. But we went, and dogs ran pretty good. I mean, I seen a button head. Jacob seen a yearling.
South Carolina special.
You ain't lying, man. If he'd have just had a fork, he'd have got it.
Oh, yeah. Well, it was raining all day Thursday.
Yeah, they ran good, but I feel like if the weather conditions would have been a little bit better, it'd have helped out a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, like, the Weather Channel said it was going to be like a half inch of rain. That was a lie.
Yeah, dude. When it got was like, I don't know, probably around 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
It started coming down.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, but it's probably pretty hard on the dogs because the rain's washing all the sin away.
Yeah. I mean, not the most optimal day to be in the woods, but
Not when it's cold, too.
Yeah.
Cold just makes it more miserable.
Well, I mean, it wasn't bad. You know, I had the banded hoodie on there.
Oh, yeah.
But they ran pretty decent. Paul, he killed a doe. He was amazed by how fast I could skin that thing. I was like, dude, I'm basically a professional.
Yeah.
I used to do this for work.
How fast can you skin a deer?
Well, let's see. I mean, she wasn't a monster. I think she was, I don't even know. I can't remember. But all he wanted, because he kind of gut shot her, so it messed up like all the good stuff on the inside.
Good job, Paul.
So all I did was took the hide off, cut the hams out, and got the back straps, and that's it. It took about 5 minutes.
Daggone.
God almighty.
It ain't bad. I mean, the hide was off in 2 minutes. It ain't
Jeez Louise.
2-3 minutes. It don't
Damn,
take
I'm
long.
just going to call you for now on.
Look, hey, y'all are to hire me. I'll sit down there and skin every deer for $5.
Hey, they used to do that. Some dudes, this was years ago, but they used to charge like $20. Just clean your deer for you.
Good night.
That must have been before my time. 'Cause I don't remember none of that.
Yeah.
Well,
you were stealing your Xbox.
I reckon $20 would be better because if somebody only kills one, you're only getting $20. If I'm doing it for 5, I'm on.
It's cheaper than what a processor would charge.
But some fella down there cooked some chili. You talk about bussing. I didn't get very much. There was very little round bowls, and they weren't very deep. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
But me and Jacob have never dog drove together, so that was a pretty good experience. And we've ran up on a few, I guess you could say, little sloughs in there while looking for dogs, and ran up on some ducks, seen 2 green heads and stuff like that.
You got excited, didn't you?
Man, my little tail feathers was.
He said, Jacob, there's ducks right there, dude.
Go ahead and kill them. we'll hold on to them till next week.
Shoot buckshot at them.
Yeah, you ain't gonna tote that.
I did go hunting yesterday.
Did you? You went and ran dogs?
Nope. I went into my little honey hole that I think is a honey hole. There's scrubs, there's scrapes everywhere.
And, yeah, we went in there together that one time.
Yeah, and we were like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, we thought we were about to just walk in and see an absolute behemoth sitting in there.
Yeah, we there's probably, I don't know, 20 scrubs in like an acre. But I got in there late, and it just really bummed me out because I didn't see. I didn't even jump a deer. I said, you know what? It's like I don't know, about a 55-acre section of woods.
Yeah.
And I mean, part of it's a duck swamp. And I walked like almost halfway through. I was like, shoot, I'll just jump up a deer and try to shoot it.
Yeah.
I didn't even jump one up. I mean, I was walking through like cracking branches and like just not trying to be quiet.
He was man driving that thing.
I ain't lying by myself.
What were you shooting, the slug gun?
Yeah, I took that 20 gauge slug.
You ought to try that thing we got over there in the corner.
Yes, sir.
We might have to pull that thing out. I wish Noah was here so he could hand it to us.
There's about a 5-foot barrel on that thing.
Yeah. You got a little punt gun over there in the corner.
I don't know what year that is, but the name on it is Columbia.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's like a. I know it doesn't exist anymore. So
I've never even heard of it.
yeah, that was our great grandpa's gun we found in his shop.
Yeah, and he's been gone. I think he passed in what, 2012.
It's been a long time.
I
ago.
know I was little when he passed.
Yeah, I mean it's a pretty cool gun though. I wouldn't
I
maybe
wouldn't.
do a
I
little
wouldn't
work
load
to
it
the
up.
stock before you ever pull the trigger on that thing.
At least duct tape it.
Yeah, I mean now if somebody's breaking in your house, well, I don't know because then y'all both gonna be hurt.
Yeah.
That thing looks like they'll run face first into the barrel before you get a chance to shoot them.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
you
how
could,
long the barrel is.
That's a turkey shoot special right there.
yes, sir. I used to thought because the church's turkey hunt was this weekend,
Yeah,
and I thought about that gun.
the turkey hunt. Oh, the turkey shoot.
Did I say turkey hunt?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. I meant turkey
Darn,
shoot.
Hey, I missed that.
Oh.
They must have different rules.
Wes, you went dog driving yesterday, right?
I did.
How'd that go?
Well, it wasn't the best day because a lot of the bucks are being killed and the ruts.
I don't know how there's anything left.
I don't know either, but not a whole lot happened because nobody killed anything, and it was just really slow. The dogs were running good all morning. Like it was a roar the whole time, but for some reason it just sucked. I don't know why.
Man, you sounded like a tornado coming through there.
But I did have one experience. We were next to the highway, so it was hard to hear with the cars coming by. And then all of a sudden, the dogs were way back there, but this thing comes crashing to me. I look at it. I thought it was a doe, so I was trying to figure out whether or not I wanted to shoot it. But it was running towards me in between the truck, and I wasn't going to shoot at it because the truck was on the other side.
Yeah.
So I started sprinting towards it to make it turn the other way and run to the woods. Well, it turns out it was a cow horn. I saw the horns, and it wouldn't turn the other way. It just kept running at me while we were both sprinting at it.
Just shoot me.
But
These same dogs have ran me 9 times in 2 days.
but turns out he finally turned at the last 7 yards. So I let him pass on that.
He's about to trunk list.
Y'all two was juking each other up.
Yeah. And but that was really the most exciting part of that.
Sounds
day.
like you had to shoot him in self-defense.
I ain't lying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About did.
So nobody really shot anything?
One of them shot at a 4 or 5 point,
Nice.
Stood.
but I think he missed.
Well, that just goes to show that dog driving isn't all the time.
Yeah, it's not always a slaughter massacre.
You got about 2 good weeks of dog driving.
Yeah, and that's during the heart of the rut.
Yeah.
Back to mine. They did run a buck that day, but they ran him across the river to the other place. I was like, dang.
Oh,
Dang.
back to mine.
Oh.
Yesterday,
They
they had 5 bucks that ran across the river to the other hunting club, and they killed all 5 of them.
Golly.
But every time that hunting club comes to us and they say that there's a buck coming, it's never a buck. It's always a duck. So
y'all boys get ready.
It's your biggin.
So we come out and there ain't nothing on its head. So everybody gets excited for nothing. But
Yeah. Wes, you've killed a deer this season, right?
yeah. That was early on this season. I think we talked about it one time
We might have.
on the first episode.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think we did.
That doe that was so close to me, the 10 yard, yeah, that one.
I ain't killed nothing. I've only been deer hunting 3 times.
I've shot at a buck earlier this season, but I'm pretty sure I loaded up the trees with buckshot that time.
God.
So I missed
Sank a
that.
wad in the tree, huh?
Yeah.
I've got a picture in my phone. You said something in the last episode about when I was shooting that buck, and you said, "Didn't you shoot a wad in a tree?" That was earlier that morning. 3 does came out, and this was right on the edge of the river, and there's like a lake in the swamp, and there's a little run that goes to it. So the deer, for some reason, they always cross this run. Me and Tori went fishing there one time. Like, we took the boat down the river and drove to this spot, and there was a doe that just dive bombed the water right behind us. Tori about freaked out in the boat. But anyways, that day, these 3 does crossed, and the one in the back was the biggest. So I was standing behind this big old fallen over tree.
Yeah.
I was like, heck yeah, I'm going to get this big girl here. And she stops and turns and looks at me, and I just hammer down. Boom, yow! She just drops. I'm talking like, just dead.
Yeah.
I'm like, word. All right.
Yeah.
So I go to cross over this tree, and so I like put my legs over it, and so I'm basically sitting down on this tree, and she just gets up. I'm like, oh shoot! I just go pow pow pow. Never found any blood. She took off like a freight train and just kept on rolling. I looked for like 2 hours, but I come back. I was like, let me retrace my steps here. So I go back to this log and I look up. All 15 of my pellets are in this old cypress tree. I got a picture on my phone.
She must have like
She
got
was
scared or
possum.
something.
I don't know.
She must have got scared. That's why she went in the ground.
Sound waves must have gave her a stroke.
She's been shot at a few times.
Yeah.
She's been found that attack to get away.
Play dead, baby.
I tell you what, hey, you should talk about that time last year when you thought it was a doe and you shot that deer that ended up being a unicorn.
Oh man, that was yeah. Actually that was in the same spot, in
Really?
the same and the dogs ran for like 3 hours nonstop, just back and forth, and they always were going to the same spot, and I was like, this has got to be a buck, either a buck or a hog. And I was like, this is
Shoot
a buck.
either one of them.
Yeah. So I just take off through the woods as far as I can, just trying to look back and remember which way I came so I don't get lost. I was in there deep. And like as soon as I get in there, they're on the way back, and this deer comes running through. I can see it. I'm getting juiced up. I was like, I'm about to mow down a buck. Well, it's a doe. So I take a good look at her, because where we hunt, if you shoot a cow horn or anything less than, like, it's got to have
It's got to be.
It's got to have a fork, right?
right.
Yeah. Or it's $100 if you shoot a cow horn or a deer under 60 pounds.
Yeah. So I eyeball this deer really good,
Mm-hmm.
because at this point last year I hadn't shot a deer yet, and I was like, all right, it's definitely a doe, definitely big enough, probably about 100 pounds. I said, all right, I'm about to hammer down. So I shoot one time, and it just kind of keeps going. Well, like, it went a little ways, and so I was running after it through the woods like Rambo. I was chasing this thing down. I think it heard me coming and just stopped and turned around and looked back at me. I'm like, okay, can't believe it hasn't died yet. So I shoot it in the head. Well, that's the best way to save meat.
Hey, I'll be honest. Like, people talk about being ethical with it. There ain't no suffering in that.
Yeah, well, with a shotgun, you're going to hit the brain.
Yeah.
You're going to put them down.
Yeah, I mean,
Shooting a bow at a deer's head, that's unethical. I wouldn't do that.
that thing's
Seen a lot of pictures of just snouts missing.
I've got one.
Yes.
It ain't from a bow shot. It's just a really good buddy that ain't worth a crap at shooting for. That crap's hilarious. He missed. Go ahead. You finish your story and I'll tell you this.
All right. Well, so shoot it in the head, it drops. I'm like, all right. So I walk up to it. I was like, oh, yeah, got me a nice doe. Well, I go to grab the head just to check to make sure. And sure enough, it had one little, it was like a inch tall spike on its head. I said, well,
Did you
I just got more poor.
I think you ended up. Did you shoot one of the horns off?
Timeout.
Who is it? Is it a spam? It's a spam. Tired of spam calls.
Not today, ISIS.
John from Medical Cares done called me 52 times in the past week.
Oh, there's
this is the
brute.
gun.
Say it on this side. We've got it in the camera.
If you open up the barrel, it looks like you can put about a 50 cal in the barrel of the gun, but somehow a 12 gauge fits in it.
That's
the barrel. Oh, you can't even see the whole barrel.
Yeah.
God,
I bet that thing hold a good pattern, son.
For YouTube, their criteria for
That's
content,
a water gun.
This is a particle accelerator.
A particle accelerator. Oh yeah.
Sorry, guys. Somebody was calling Jay's phone. We have his phone on hotspot because we're out in the middle of nowhere.
That's right.
All right. So yeah. Anyways, I had to spend $100, so I was broke and even more broke.
I think you ended up shooting one of the horns off.
I don't know. I can't remember.
Because how else would it only have one horn? That don't make no sense.
He might have been fighting. You know, that was a big buck.
That's Carolina 11. Right there, buddy.
Fine, bud.
You ready for this one?
Yes.
All right. So I ain't gonna say his name because I don't know. But good buddy of mine, we were hunting, and I used to hunt this box blind on the side of a creek. I relied a lot on acorns around there. You know, I mean, I had like a place you would put corn, but I didn't like steady. Oh, I got to put out corn. You know,
It's cool.
it's corn that comes out of the ground. But I relied a lot on acorns because that's all it was. It was just acorn trees all over the place.
Yeah.
And
Free.
yeah, I mean, that's natural,
Yeah.
baby. But we're sitting there. We get in the stand, probably been there about 15 minutes, and you know, I only hunt for about an hour. So we got like 45 minutes left.
God.
And an 8-point walks out. And he'd never killed a deer, and I hadn't killed nothing yet this season, so I'm like, well, I'm going to go ahead and kill me something.
Mm-hmm.
So, boom, dropped my deer. And I got like a hog panel around it because it had hogs really bad. So he jumps over the hog panel, just does make it over the hog panel, drops dead right on the right side of the tree line right there. Then about 7 minutes later, another 8-point walks out. Hey, I'm talking about a nice one. I was like, well, I done shot one. I was like, you go ahead, shoot yours. And he's got, I think it was a 30-30 with iron sights. And this is like a 130-yard shot.
Oh, my God. Jesus.
So I'm like, all right, look, D-Best, you got good light. He goes, boom. The 8-point does the donkey kicking off. I was like, all right.
Shoot.
I was like, shoot, you might have got him. So we give him a minute. I wait about 30, 35 minutes, sit in the stand, just to give him time. Get down at the stand, walk down there. I can see my buck laying right there in the side of the road. We walk up there to go see if we can find any blood or anything. And the 8-point that he shot at, standing about 5 feet in the woods right there, just standing there. I said, well, shoot him. If he's been standing there for 35 minutes, shoot him again. He proceeds to shoot 3 more times from about me to the wall over there.
Good.
He misses every shot.
This deer just stood there?
Just stood there. And after he shot the first time while we were down there, all he did, he took about 3 steps and stopped again. And then he just boom, 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 boom. He had that 30-30 just blaring through them trees, dude. And the buck never really like ran off. He trotted off after about the 3rd shot. He trotted off. But this is where it got weird. So I'm like, okay, well, you obviously ain't hitting him. Something ain't right. I was like, either he's invincible or you just ain't getting him. And so I'm like, well, we'll go look for blood, but I doubt there is any.
Yeah.
You know the back gland on their leg?
Mm-hmm.
I found a piece of fur from that. That's it.
Wow.
That's it. I'm pretty sure that might have been a shot from the tree stand. But then, hold on, let me get a swig of drink. I gave up after about an hour. I was like, whatever. And so I pulled the truck down there. And the way the stand was, you got like the dirt road, and then there's a cut road that's just for my where my corn pile would go.
Mm-hmm.
There's a cut road, and then it goes down the shooting lane. And so we had to drag the deer out there to the main, like, actual road.
Mm-hmm.
And we get him out there, and we throw him on we throw him on the bed of the truck. And after we do that, I catch like a glare up in the road in front of us. It's that same 8-point that he's done shot at 5 times, looking at us load this other deer up. So he pulls out the gun and starts shooting at him.
Good Lord.
We found nothing. I was like, dude, I don't know.
God.
But so then we did a little target practice the next day because I was determined. I was like, I'm getting you your first deer.
Mm-hmm.
He's never even killed one. I was like, and it was getting late in the season when I finally took him back. And I think I was already tagged out, but I was like, we're going to get you something, a doe or something, because I had a bunch of does out there. I had a doe named Mildred. Like, she would come out there. It didn't matter if I yelled at her. She would just stay out there on the corn pile. I could be like, hey, Mildred. And she'd just show up. So I was like, all right, if she walks out, just shoot her. She's pretty easy. I mean, she used to walk up to the stand. Like, I'd just look at her. But she walks out, and I'm like, all right, put a good shot on her. I let him use my gun this day, something with a sight on it.
Yeah.
He's like, all right. I said, all right, get her. Boom. I was like, all right, look good. We'll get down there. I ain't finding no blood. I was like, she did the donkey kick and all. I was like, usually if they do that, if they act a little funky instead of just running off, most of the time you hit them.
Yeah.
But we get down there. I'm not finding anything. I'm like, whatever. So I give up after about 30 to an hour. I got tired of looking. I checked my trail camera 2 days later, and the day after, she's back out there. And like the top of her nose, like the bottom of it's still there, so she still got a nose, but there's like a chunk of her nose missing.
Is he trying to shoot him in the head?
No, it didn't say he was. But so I went back the next day because she would come out every day right at sunset. I went back the next day and just killed her.
Yeah.
I felt bad for that.
Yeah.
But
I mean, wow, has he been back deer hunting?
not with me.
Yeah.
I mean, it looked like a war going on up there.
I ain't lying.
Down there. I was like, good night. That 30-30 was about glowing. Good night, son.
Jeez Louise.
Hey, oh man.
Let's see. So we talked about yours. So, me and Tori went on a date night last night.
Did you?
Yeah. You ever heard of Ichiban in Conway? Ichiban?
Who?
Ichiban.
What is that?
It's like a hibachi and sushi place.
If it ain't in Wahi, I don't want.
Well, let me tell you about this place. All right, it is $26 a person, but
Good night. A person?
yes,
What you eating?
but
You
there's
eating
the menu. They give you this menu, and you get a pencil. You mark down everything on that menu you want, and the top half is like appetizers and little mini sushi rolls. I used to didn't like sushi, but I've grown to like it. The bottom half is all sushi, like the big sushi rolls, and then there's another part that's got fried stuff, the hibachi.
Yeah.
So I ordered 5 sushi rolls. All right, so each roll is like 8 pieces of sushi.
Yeah.
I mean, so that's
40,
40.
40 pieces of sushi.
Well, I ordered this, right?
Yeah.
A waitress looks at me because it's all as long as you can eat all that food, it costs $26.
Yeah.
So you can get full. So she looks at me and she says, 5? I'm like, what you mean 5? She said, you're going to do 5 sushi rolls? I'm like, what do I look like? So I made it a point to destroy all 5 of these sushi rolls. I was on the last 3 rolls and I was on the verge of throwing up. I was like, but I can't look like a weenie in front of this lady.
You gotta prove her wrong.
I've got to prove her wrong. So I was cooked.
I bet that was an atomic bomb when that came back out.
Yeah, we were supposed to go watch a movie after.
Mm.
I said, honey, I got to go home. I got to go stretch out somewhere.
Food paralysis.
Yes. So you can imagine the log this afternoon.
Building cabins.
Like,
Lord, you hit us into it this afternoon.
yes, sir.
Oh man, that thing would have got me by the time I got home.
I had Zaxby's today for lunch with nuclear sauce.
Oh, that just sounds bad.
So, yes, it does nuke your intestines.
Jeez.
But-
That reminds me of a story about some shad. So there's a little bait store. Like you know, I like to set hooks,
Mm-hmm.
catfishing. And there's this little store in Johnsonville. And
Oh, yeah.
Have I told you this?
Yeah, but go ahead.
But see, when you think of a shad, how big do you think a shad is?
I mean, a couple inches.
Like all the shad that I have ever seen, they might have been that long. They might
Yeah,
have
max.
been max 6 inches. So I walk in because we're planning on setting like 30 lines. All right,
Wow.
and like we're gonna run them a couple times that night. So I was like, well, I'm gonna go ahead and get 100 shad.
Come up to
A
your
little
mic.
far.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and get 100 shad, just to make sure, because we're gonna do it for 2 nights.
Mm-hmm.
And this lady looks at me like I'm like stupid. I was like, "Are we speaking the same language?" I was like, it's like she was looking at me like I was dumb. She was like, "Well, what are you planning on doing?" I said, "I'm setting hooks." She's like, "And you need 100?" I was like, "Whatever." I said, "Well, just give me 50." And she kept looking at me like I was dumb. I was like, "My God, I'm setting 30 lines. They ain't but this big." I was like, "I need a few spares." And she kept looking at me like I was dumb. I was like, well, 25. I was like, 25. That's as low as I'm going. And she still, I mean, I would just look like an idiot. So I said, give me 10 and give me 10 eels.
Go. I need to take her to the.
Yeah, eels. Eel ain't but about yay long. So I said, give me 10 shad, 10 eel. She proceeded, and after, I know why she gave me that look now. Because when they came to bring me my shad, they brought a 55-gallon drum.
Mm.
And these shad were this freaking big.
For 10 of them?
One of them. One shad that big. I was like, what are they? Steroids? I mean, I've never seen a shad. It looked like a baby shark.
You gave us mudfish.
What is that, Gar? I was like, what is that? Ain't no shad I've ever seen. I don't know where you got him.
Where were you at?
In Johnsonville, there's a little bait store right there. They like, I think you can take them catfish. Like, I don't know. I know they do bait and stuff like that, but I think they might buy catfish or something. I'm not sure.
They've got some interesting items on their little thing outside by the road.
Yeah.
Like,
They got like goat nuggets or something out there. I'm dead serious.
I don't know. I've been by there a bunch of times, but I've never been in there.
Well, if you ever need shad, tell them one.
Cut it
So-
up, just 20 pieces.
So 10 of them came out in a 55-gallon drum.
I got those 3 years ago, and I still got 4 left. I've been setting hooks with those for the past 4 years. I don't even know what's going to eat a whole one of them. I don't even think a megalodon could swallow that thing.
We could have took that home and ate it. Then they'd have to catch no catfish.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, good Lord, this is
Eat
about a
a
30-pounder.
Well, guys, I don't know if you can tell, but we love Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
Weston's got one, Jay's got one, and I've got 2 in my cup, which is probably down to 1 now. But we tear
I'm
the
slim
stuff up.
on it. You've already told them this is the nectar of the South.
It is
Yes.
the nectar of the South.
Um,
And they have honeydew. We have Mountain Dew.
honeydew. What is honeydew?
It's the fruit.
Oh, what is that?
Honeydew. It's like
You know what that is?
Yeah.
it's kind of like cantaloupe.
I don't eat fruit, Dylan.
Look, if it ain't wood duck.
It ain't wood duck or backstrap. I don't want it.
How long are we in for?
31 minutes.
30.
Oh, we still got a while.
Oh yeah.
Oh, guys, we got good news. We finally figured out how to charge the computer while all the mics are on. So,
Check this. We've got a new USB hub that charges the computer and also is running all 3 mics.
yeah, that was what we were running into problems with.
Yeah, so now I have a whole nother port or
Yeah.
something.
So on day 365, that completes 1 year of podcasting. We're going to do a 24-hour long podcast live.
Brother,
What are you speaking on right now?
this guy.
I'm gonna have 2 kids then. I don't know if my old lady would appreciate that.
Yeah. We'll just leave our wives home with 2 children. Weston's over here
24
like, my girlfriend's mad at me for being out here. I'm like, dude. I got one kid throwing up, and the other one throwing a hissy fit.
That's gonna go over like a fart in church. I can already tell that. Good night. Well, y'all know what I done today, but I went and checked out a few duck holes today, or our duck hole, our main one.
Mm-hmm.
Things are looking bright.
Y'all jump some up or did some in there?
Yeah. Which there's a bunch of acorn trees in there, so it's all about the X. Like I've said, you find the X, you're in the spot. No calls, no nothing.
Yeah.
See, a lot of people don't understand that. I don't use calls. And I kind of got into a debate with my sister's husband yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And I like Troy. I feel sure he don't care if I say his name. But he made a point, like, you can call wood ducks. I know you can call wood ducks.
Yeah.
But there's a difference between calling them in and them already coming while you're calling. Just because you're calling don't mean that they weren't coming in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, you could be sitting there being quiet just as good as you can sitting there blaring on your wood duck call.
Now, if they flew by, you hit the call and they come back and come in.
If they do
It's
it like a
little
mallard,
different. Yeah.
then yeah.
But I've seen them fly by and come right back either way. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And he said that this would be a good debate for this.
Mm-hmm.
So I might save it for another day, like when we got a guest, if they think a little different. But
Maybe next week's guest will have something to say.
well, hopefully we can get him on. Hopefully everything goes good and we can have him on.
I hope so.
Yeah. I know he's probably pretty juiced. He's a big duck hunter and turkey hunter.
Oh yeah.
But
He's gearing up right now.
oh yeah. He's got that Sitka ready.
First sponsor.
Sick.
No. That'll be a decline.
Yeah, Sick can try if they want to. I mean, nobody's tried, so we act like we've got sponsors. But
Yeah.
even if that was the only sponsor that ever came up, I'd be like, no,
Yeah.
I'm good.
You know I'm a bee.
Yeah.
I'm the big banded.
Jay's a big banded guy.
Yeah.
I'm a big. Just wear
whatever
something
keeps you
warm.
Yeah. You got a nice jacket.
I got one heck of a jacket.
I don't. What's the brand?
I think it's Drake.
No,
Is it a 3-in-1?
no, it's like a Eskimo. Like you go to Alaska.
You can go somewhere cold with it.
Dang, what do you need that for?
Whenever it's
Buddy, our coldest day's like 55.
Well, he's like 7 pounds. So,
well, I wear it. Like, remember whenever me, you, and him went duck hunting last year that one time?
it was like,
And I missed so bad I shot like a whole box and didn't get one. Or I might have got one duck.
yeah.
I wore that, and I was sweating in the 20 degrees. Like, I think the windshield might have been in the teens that morning. I was sweating in the duck hole.
I can't remember what the name of it is, but
I got it like 4 years ago.
He got that Eskimo jacket.
It's got so many pouches on it.
Yeah, and it's just, yeah, it's the
Speaking of, Weston backed out on me going on youth day. He
yeah.
said he wanted to go run a dog. See, you ain't even killed nothing. We could have went kill some ducks.
Well,
Or not
we'll
we,
just
but you. Not we, but you.
Maybe.
we'll go at some point.
Yeah, I'm just
And then
kidding you.
Just got awkward.
Yeah, and then we'll.
Jay's calling him out.
I'm calling you out.
You piece of crap.
Nah. Which y'all do plan on coming with me a few times this year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to
Because
get
we
on.
can't really.
It's hard
we
to talk
can't.
about too much. Not hunting together.
Yeah. Well, like where we deer hunt at, there's a bunch of duck holes. I guess we'll get into that. The hunting in there used to be really good. I mean, there wasn't many places that we had that you couldn't go get a limit. Like every single one of you that goes in there would limit out. I don't know what happened in the past few years, but
No water.
yeah, there was a drought, and I don't know.
Last year was the best duck hunting I've seen in there.
At that
For
one place,
The one place, yeah.
there's ducks in there, but they just don't hit the same holes they used to, and part of that's due to Duck Dynasty.
Now around here, there's been a lot more duck hunters. I think in general, a lot more duck hunters now than like
Yeah,
probably 8 years ago.
and I don't know if that has to do with Duck Dynasty coming out, because that was a great show.
Yeah, I love it.
But ever since then, the duck hunting has slowly digressed where we hunt at.
Yeah.
Because I mean, used to, man, there was late.
Didn't you say one time you got your limit in one shot?
Yeah, yeah.
What you shooting?
We were hunting outside of a roost.
Yeah.
Because we were shooting passing birds.
That's all. That's about all you do. Or we got.
That's what a wood duck does.
Yeah.
You shoot them right out the sky.
If you waiting on them to come in foot down, you're gonna have a rough season.
Yeah, I don't even think they come in with feet down. I think they just hit that water.
Yeah.
They just go full speed. Just. But
No, ain't nothing like a little bird coming in there.
Murd busters.
Hey, last time we went hunting, you told me, or Dylan said, I think there's some gangers back there, about 40, 30 yards away. I think there's some gangers back there in that hole. Jay goes, blast them.
Kill them.
Yeah, they're not
The best.
Have you ever tried to eat umberganser?
Yeah, it's like eating a bicycle tire.
I've never tried.
I'm good.
Only thing that sucks about, like, because mergansers, you can't really tell a difference between them and a wood duck
Yeah.
coming in. I mean, a wood duck, they make all the racket and
Well, I mean, you can kind of tell when the drake's coming in because his little faux hawk.
mm-hmm.
You know? But I don't know. Some of them birds are just moving too fast. If it's a mallard or a big duck because he's flying a lot slower than that wood duck is. But
we get excited. We're like, oh, those big ducks right there.
Big ducks.
They're like little prizes for us.
Yeah, there ain't where we hunt. There ain't very many greenheads and stuff like that. Now I did. I never found him, but I did knock down a black duck 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Which I mean, I've seen black ducks. I've never killed one, but I've seen and shot at a couple. But I mean, the ones I shot at were kind of too high to even be shooting at. I was just excited.
But you got to take your chance.
Yeah, hey,
miss every shot.
You'll be a
you
talk of
don't
the
take.
town if you
miss
shoot
every
one of them.
shot you don't take.
That's right.
So,
Which I mean, we killed some ringnecks last year, which is pretty different. Like that ain't something we kill a lot of. Not
No.
where we're at.
well, speaking of shooting ducks from a mile away and all that, I think our Outer Banks experience is a good place to talk about that.
Yeah. So, our dad, well, I guess our mom and dad, because you had been wanting to go to the Outer Banks for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And
I had gotten into duck hunting.
yeah. And no, I guess my dad finally felt like you were ready just because of the weather out there.
And I was loving it. That don't mean I was hitting ducks. I had probably killed about 3 before he decided to go to the Outer Banks. I couldn't hit the broadside of a barn.
Yeah. But Jay's first Mountain Dew fell down.
Sorry, guys. I'm a fanatic.
But so we went, and I'm not going to say the guys we went with, because the first day was awesome.
The first day was wild.
Yeah, I mean, all we shot was Bufflehead, but we were up around
4:30. Oh, you talking about?
We were up around Kill Devil Hills, and I'd been there before, and the hunting was kind of crappy.
And it was cold, is what you said.
Yes, the coldest I've ever been. But I was also out there in 16-degree weather with the wind chill making it about 10.
Yeah.
With non-insulated waders. So I felt like my feet were just little blocks. And they hurt. But yeah.
I hadn't killed many ducks before that, but we went that first day, and that number went right on up.
Oh, man.
You talk about a fast bird. Buffleheads are moving.
And they're tough.
Dude, I think them things are bulletproof.
Their durability is at least 100.
Prove me wrong that them things ain't.
Hey, when me and Damon went, I don't think we one-shotted a single Bufflehead.
No. I watched Wes. Now, we had Wes with number 4s.
Yeah.
Well, I think we all had number 4s.
We were supposed to have number 2s, but I thought my shells were number 2s, but it ended up, I looked at the box after I done shot.
The light's flickering.
I ended up shooting both boxes and looked at them, and they were number 4s.
Yeah, because I watched you fold one up. I mean, that thing was flying, and it was dead.
Yeah.
I mean, pillowed, cased them, and everything. And we're like, all right. Next thing you know, that thing gets up and keeps going. Like, wait, shoot it again. He's like, what? But it just keeps shooting in that bird.
I've never seen a bird that tough. Now, y'all go ahead. I'll tell my story in a minute.
What was the limit on Buffleheads per person?
6.
Yeah, it was 6. And the guide,
he counts too.
Yeah, he didn't shoot. He let us take his limit.
So we ended up we probably nearly maxed out on Buffleheads. And then we also killed 2 sea ducks or something.
Yeah, 2 of the scoters.
Yeah, because we thought they were big ducks, so we got excited.
And the one pair of bluebills that came in, they were coming. I mean, they were doing it dirty. Now, all the Buffleheads were landing like not even 15 yards from the boat.
Buffleheads are stupid.
Yeah.
Oh, you were in a boat?
Yeah, we were in the scissor rig. It's pretty neat. But out there in the wide open, all these Buffleheads are doing it dirty. Well, then finally, we get 2 bluebills to come in. I mean, they are cupped up pretty. And I'm like, finally, something a little bigger, a little different. I mean, I was having fun with the Bufflehead, but, well, we're going to let Wes shoot first. And these bad boys are side by side, coming.
I remember this.
Head on, straight at us. So we're all sitting there. Everybody flicks the guns off safety. And the guy's like, all right, I'll tell you when. Y'all get ready. Get ready. Pow, 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 pow. Weston, they're about, 70 yards out. I guess he got used to looking at the little Buffleheads. They just look big.
Well, hunting out there in the wide open is a little different. You've got nothing to judge your distance off of.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a struggle for us our first morning because, I mean, hunting a wood duck and where we hunt, you're in a swamp, there's trees everywhere. If they're in the trees, you're good.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
once they make it to the trees, you're
out
good.
there. Yeah, there's nothing out there.
Yeah, it was funny.
That was our only hiccup.
Yeah, but we still wore them out.
We slaughtered them that first day.
I wish I could remember that guy's name we went with. But
I remember the second one. I remember the second one. We ain't gonna say his name, but I remember his name.
So,
I'll never forget it.
And it was like in the 40s.
Yeah.
By 10 o'clock that day.
Yeah.
So the next day,
it was significantly colder. It felt like
there was another cold front that pushed in. It was windy and cold and perfect for duck hunting.
Yeah.
So we went to go eat. I loved Outer Banks. I don't think anybody should go out there. It's just a cool experience. But we went to go eat, and we was all juiced up. We were waiting on the guide to call us to let us know where to meet him. And he finally called. Was like, all right, we met him, wherever. And so then that morning, we pull up to the landing. And we're like, where's our guide? Because we told him we were driving, and there would be 3 of us, where to meet us and all that. and he just like finally walked by. Apparently he'd been there the whole time,
Yeah.
and he finally walked by. He was like, "Are y'all can go duck hunting or not?"
Yeah, and our dad, like, we were trying to make sure he had the whole boat situated and all that, and our dad said, "You want us to go ahead and put our guns in the boat?
Your phone.
You want us to?" He said, "You want us to go ahead and put our guns in the boat?" He said, "Well, y'all want to kill ducks, don't you?"
Yeah, and like we thought he was just being funny,
Yeah,
and because his boat was pulled up to an old dock that was tore up, so we walk up to this dock. You know, it's pitch black dark, cold as crap.
It's about 4:50 in the morning, 5 o'clock.
Yeah, and he's like, "All right," and he's a big fella.
Yeah,
The guide was a big dude. And our dad's not small.
no,
Weston's, I mean, you're little 7 pounds.
about 140.
Yeah. And I'm about 200. So I got chosen to walk across this one little board
Yeah,
to go across this dock. He said, you get on that board. Don't fall down. There's rocks under me, under this dock. He's like, get on that boat and undo these ties and pull the boat up so we can get to a safer spot, get everybody home. I mean, all right. I was ready to get going. It was starting to get kind of late. He said, hurry up. So I get on the boat, and he's like starting to rush me.
yeah.
He's like, come on, we got to hurry. I'm like, my God, dude, I had to put my stuff down. I didn't know where he wanted me to put it at because I didn't want to put it.
And somewhere that's in the way.
Yeah. So I put the stuff down. I unhooked the boat. He's like, come on. I'm like, is dude serious? And so I pull the boat up. We all get on, and we all sit down, and then we take off, out in the water. And so he's hammering down. The wind is cutting, the waves. I mean, we are bouncing.
Yeah.
Our seats are coming off, and we're trying not to fall. And the sun's starting to come up.
Yeah.
And we're like, we can start seeing birds. And by this time, I've been to Outer Banks twice. This is Weston's first time, but both times I'd never killed a redhead.
Yeah.
So like we were ready to kill some redheads because he had told us they tore them up the day before. So we start seeing huge groups of redheads, and not like miles out there. Like you can see them way out, but they were like flying over us. So we was getting juiced up. He said, "All right, we got to put these decoys out."
Now this is where the ultra getting mad started.
Yes.
Throwing decoys out.
So we get to throwing out the decoys, and he's got all kind of different types. And when we started throwing them out, he didn't have like a way of putting them out.
No.
He was just throw them all out the left side. So he said, throw them all out the left side. And we're like, okay. So we start grabbing them, and the whole time we're grabbing ducks and unraveling them, he's, hurry up. Y'all come on, we're running out of time.
Yeah. As if we don't have hours of shooting that we can do out there.
Yeah. Now, I don't have a problem helping doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Because the day before, we asked the guy, you need us to help throw these decoys out, get them unraveled? He said, yeah, y'all can unravel them, but I'll throw them out. There's a certain way it needs to be done. And, we were the hunters.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you pretty much pay for the service in a way.
Right.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with helping, but
Yeah.
you ain't got to be a butt about it.
Yeah. So we start throwing them out, and he said, like, Wes picked one up. He said, don't throw that one out. What? And he didn't want us to throw a bluebell out with a redhead, even though he's got some new decoys, and he's got some of the old canvas style decoys. He's got decoys that you can't even tell what it is. It's got so many bullet holes in it. So that was a mess. The whole time he's rushing us. Then we start throwing them out the left side like he asked.
Yeah.
And then he said, don't throw them out the left side right now. I'm trying to turn the boat. It's like, because the whole time he's rushing us, tell him, throw them out. Hurry, hurry, hurry. So we were pretty pissed off at this point. Like, very unhappy. So after, dude, it was forever. Our hands were freezing because it was cold as crap.
And once we got all the decoys out finally, we pulled into our little camouflage scissor thing. We are about how far away from the spread? The decoy spread.
I thought he was trying to just look at his decoys from a distance, make sure they were good. But no, he stopped the boat. I would say the closest decoy was 50 yards, and all the rest of them were about 60 yards out.
Good night.
We were like,
you gotta be
maybe he thinks they're going to come in between the boat and the decoys and land. Well, he looks at our dad. He throws the anchor out, or he gets me to reach down and throw this anchor. Now
over the front of the boat.
Yeah, I was leaning out over the front of the boat, and mind you, it's windy and the wakes are huge, and this boat is bouncing. And I'm not used to being out there on the water like that. I mean, he in his off time, he's a captain. Like he fishes like they're out there all the time. So I don't have my sea legs. You know, I'm used to walking in a swamp.
Yeah.
So I'm leaned out over this boat, trying to reach and find this anchor. I don't even know where the anchor is hanging off the front of the boat, but he's rushing me the whole time, so I finally get it. He tells me to throw the anchor out. He's got one end of the rope to like tie the boat to the anchor rope. Like there's a rope on the end of the boat, and then the anchor's got its own rope, and he wanted to tie them together. There's a reason for that, but he looked at our dad. He said, "All right, tie overhand knot."
What is that?
Well, we're not knotsmen. We don't tie knots for a living. My dad was a police officer up until this point. And so
you don't know your knots.
I mean, yeah, we didn't go to Boy Scouts. So my dad looks at me, looks at Wes, and I look at my dad, and he was like, "What do I do?" And I was like, "I don't know." And this whole time he's just staring at my dad. He said, "You know what? I'll get it."
He said, "You know what? Forget about it."
Yeah, yes. He said, "You know what? Forget about it. I'll get it." And my dad, we all looked at each other like, okay.
And then we knew this was about to be a long day of duck hunting.
Because at this point, all this has happened, and it's cold as crap. And, we had our gloves off. Because, didn't want our gloves to be wet. Well, so we're pretty ill. And, yeah, you can't see it I think we're good. But, so the whole time the birds are flying. So we finally get our guns loaded, and we're ready to go. And then he just acts like nothing ever happened. He's like, just talking to us. He started talking about his alcoholism and his ex-wife and girlfriend and all this stuff. We're like, all right.
Now I think we see why they left him.
So was he just like not a morning person, or?
I don't think he was just a good person, period.
He's just a bad man, though.
He don't need to be the one in the little boat with everybody having guns. He don't need to be in there.
The guy we went with, he told us straight off the bat. He said, "I'm not a morning person." So he didn't talk,
Mm-hmm.
But now after he finished his cup of coffee, and he let you know that like he wasn't a morning person. So it ain't like he was just being a butt the whole time,
Mm-hmm.
It's like he would call you after you book it, and like he would tell you this stuff so you don't get there and think he's just some butt.
Yeah, we didn't get that lucky.
No,
our guy just showed up being a butt hat.
And the unethical part about it is the decoys were 50 yards away, but he'd tell us to kill them from 70 yards away. When the birds were that far away, he'd tell us to just kill them, boys.
Just shooting amongst them, that's all you can do.
Yeah. And he kept telling Dylan every time we wounded one to unhook from the front of the boat. Well, there's a duck flying in front of the boat, and I'm behind Dylan. So that means if I were to shoot that bird, I was just going to blow Dylan away. Well, I ain't going to just shoot him. So Dylan gets out the way, and the bird's wounded in front of the boat. And he goes, "We got to kill that bird, y'all. Well, come on, we got to kill him." Well, I just took mine. I was so fed up, I just said, "Pow, pow, pow," from 70 yards away.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
One shot might have hit him. The rest of them went way over him.
Yeah, it was terrible. And then every time we get back to the boat and get back set up, he said, "Y'all did good. Y'all guys did good.
Y'all doing a good job."
We're like,
He's giving you a little pep talk.
yeah. So there's 4 people in the boat and all 4 of us have guns. So you don't want to start a fight in the boat.
Our daddy said, we too awful big men to be rolling around in the back of this boat.
Yeah.
That's
So
what he said to the guy.
No, he said that
was
after we
later.
left.
Because, this was Weston's first experience out there.
Yeah.
We didn't want it to end with everybody just having a brawl in the boat. It would have been 3-on-1.
Yeah.
But
Just jump him out there in the middle of the ocean.
Throw him overboard.
but
Oh, man. Would you have kept his boat?
Yes.
we would have had
Y'all would have had the decoys, the boat. What kind of gun did he have?
y'all know the fella that patrols the rivers out here.
Uh-oh.
I thought you was going somewhere else. with talking about that fella.
We would have had one of them episodes out here.
Nah, I don't think me and you are on the same page. I'm going dark with what I'm thinking.
I think we are.
I'm
The
lost.
CC. CK. Never mind.
TD.
I don't know.
I'll get with you after that episode.
Yeah. But anyways, so
But we ended up killing our ducks, the redheads, the bluebills. I can't remember if anything else stupid happened. I'm sure something did.
the whole time it was just like 12. It was 12 o'clock, and we only had just a few birds.
Yeah.
We were like, you know what? We ready to go. Weston was ready to go like 5 minutes after we got in the boat.
And so we have to start picking up decoys, which means our hands got to go in the water. Well, Dylan had this decoy, and he said the little string at the bottom, he said, you got to wrap that around the keel. We didn't know what a keel was. We now know that it's the bottom, the little thing on the bottom. Well, Dylan didn't know
Those
nothing.
probably don't have that, buddy.
No.
Dylan didn't know nothing, so he grabs that decoy by the neck. And he about lost it in that boat.
Because the decoy, the cord on the bottom of these are like way longer than they need to be.
Yeah, you got like 40-foot cords.
Yes, I'm talking. You'd be sitting there raveling up for a minute.
Yeah, and he'd be doing his in figure eights or something
Yeah,
like that.
you got to do like this.
And there was one time we had some ducks land in the spread. Me and Daddy, you might have, I don't know what you were doing, if you were reloading or something, I don't remember.
He's probably thinking about life choices at that point.
So me and Daddy had to shoot into that spread of decoys to kill that bird. You don't typically want to shoot the decoys, but man, me and him,
I wanted to sink every single one of his decoys.
man,
I got a story.
man, we peppered the ever loving. We shot them decoys so many times. There was pellets all in them, but that summed up our second day.
Yeah, it sucked butt cheeks.
Yeah.
Well, to my story about decoys, the region we hunt, you don't really need decoys. I mean,
No. You can take them just to make you feel
yeah,
better.
I mean, you might get a mallard to hit them, but I don't think wood ducks care if you got a
No,
decoy
they already
or
know
not.
if they're going to land there or not.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much you can do. But this is when I was first starting to get into duck hunting, like full blown into it, like dropping deer hunting and everything to go duck hunting. And I didn't have decoys yet, but my dad had his. And so I would go hunting with buddies and take my dad's decoys. One morning we got in this hole like early as crap because we had to beat people into it. Because, I mean, it's first come, first serve. This is in a hunting club, but still, same rules, whoever's there first. So I throw these mallard decoys out, and we still got like an hour before we can even shoot. And we're sitting there cutting the crap, this hanging out, and it's like 2 minutes after shooting, like we ain't seen nothing yet. And my buddy just starts shooting out of nowhere. He's talking about, there was mallards on the water. He sank 8 of the 12 decoys I put out. He just, they just sank to the bottom. They were like that hard plastic. They weren't nothing fancy. They was just like that hard plastic. I got back to the house, and there was only 3 decoys left in the decoy bag. My dad was like, "Where are all the decoys at?" I was like, so and so shot them,
They're
and they
in the
sank.
bottom of a swamp.
And this is on the side of Big PDs.
Oh
So
yeah,
you're not
Gone.
gonna find those.
gone.
I mean, that whole. I mean, we were in a creek boat, dude.
They're in the ocean somewhere.
Yeah, that crap sucked. I still ain't recovered.
Yeah. Well, that's been a pretty good little while on here.
Yeah.
So I guess that's enough.
You want to tell them a little bit about what we're going to talk about on the next one?
Yeah. Next episode will be the day after duck season opener,
Yep.
Mhm.
and as you know, Jay is gonna.
That'll probably be my episode.
Yeah, we're just gonna sit back and listen.
Yeah.
Um,
Hopefully, have our first guest on if everything goes good.
I hope so. I hope he can. Hope he can make it. I hope.
We can do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's more the thing. I told him it would be on our end. He said he'd be here if he can be.
Well, if he has to, I'll get up. He can sit in my spot.
No, we got to all be on here.
But that's going to be it for episode number 3.
Yes, sir.
As you know, that was a all over the place episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, we.
We'll
Sorry.
round them back over.
Yeah, sorry there was no video, which I know most people just listen to podcasts, so it's all good. But we ran out of storage and we didn't know it.
We just got the alert.
Yes. So that's going to be it for episode number 3. Thanks for tuning in.
And we'll catch you on the next one.